So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto the channel. So just starting off with the match stats. So this game was a very high scoring game for us. I think this is the highest scoring game that we've had on this YouTube channel. Previously it was a 5-0 score that we won by, but we've surpassed that. So do enjoy the game. Overall the way that we played was fantastic by the team. We only had, I think, the right back and the left back positions, which weren't, let's say, fully occupied as such, but in general, the way that we played was fantastic of the team. We play as a high line as much as we can from a defensive approach, of course, trying to get the offside traps, but whenever we can't get the offside trap and the players are going through, then of course we do backtrack. But this type of formational play as well as strategy that we've had over the past games has had us over scoring 2.5 goals plus every single game, with conceding very much minimal, with the centre-back partnership that I've got with TTV. So, he's been playing fantastic for us. Ping, centre-back partnership, just trying to understand how we are playing together. He's more of an aggressive centre-back, which I like, especially like the way I like to play is, trying to hold back and just ensure that the positional side of things I'm there, or backtracking, just depending on how the striker or the opposition are playing. But yeah, as mentioned, overall a very strong game. The way that we love to play is a high line, so pressing all over as much as we can in the opposition half. A very high scoring game overall, being one of the biggest games that we've had so far. Yes, we didn't have a full team, but the matches that we did play as a team were just fantastic in these games that we'll be uploading. So do enjoy. But just some quick match stats then for you guys. So we had a 57% possession overall. We had 12 shots compared to 6 from the opposition. Again, as mentioned, it was a fantastic game from the guys. Overall we could have scored so much more than what we had. I don't want to ruin the scoreline, but we could have scored so much more, and it was just unfortunate because the goalkeeper on their side, it was a human, but then he left, and then of course the AIs seem to be demonic whenever they are playing against us. So overall well done to the boys. And then my performance as such, 7.2 rating. I had 2 possessions won, 0 lost, and I didn't make any tackles, but again, the interceptions that we made as a team, the pressing that we done, the passing overall is very beautiful to watch. So just, yeah, sit back and enjoy. And yeah, so you might have also noticed, guys, that I haven't uploaded over the past couple of days. I haven't been feeling too well. The London weather, it was getting very, very hot, and my allergies, my hay fever, or whatever the case is, all these airborne allergies were flaring up, so I wasn't well overall. So now, looking back at, getting back on the grind of uploading every single day as what I was previously. Still not 100%, but we should be getting better, especially with the London weather getting a bit colder now, so looking forward to that. But no. Yeah, so hopefully, as mentioned, should be much more videos, and again, the team are looking into these videos too. It's something that, I have advised to them, just looking at them individually, how are they playing in these matches, is there something that they could work on better, is there something that they could reduce on, so such as passing more, reducing on the dribbling, reducing on the long balls or the lob balls as such, keeping it simple as such. So it's a great opportunity for the team to look at these as well. So I do appreciate you boys coming down and watching these videos, just to again improve individually as well as a team as well. It's not just for yourselves, but again, areas of where we can improve as a team. So yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, guys, there's not much to talk about today. Again, the Nations League has had its break, for example. They've had their fixtures, but now they're going to be reconvening those fixtures from September onwards, which is going to be the back end of the last fixtures of the tables. I have mentioned in my previous videos, I am a Germany football club, let's say, supporter. I've always been like that, since I was very young. I've got like nearly every single kit of theirs, just something that I've always enjoyed. But, talking about England, the banter club, that, I'm glad that they are in this situation that they are, because they always have the easiest rides, and then they hype up the team so much, such as Harry Kane, for example. He scored over 50 goals. Majority of those goals against the likes of like San Marino, which is like the worst ranked team. And when he gets up against like big boy teams that he has to face against like Italy, Germany, even Hungary aren't a bad team. They've whooped their asses twice already, with an aggregate score of 5-0 for over both legs. It's something that I'm glad that England are getting dealt with. So at least they can now go into their mentality, and look at areas to fix up. They haven't done anything attacking wise. You know, defensively they're getting, you know, dealt with. I don't know why they're still playing Maguire. He's a liability overall. Try rotation and try different players. But I'm glad that England are in this situation. Again, they've always had an easy ride into like these major tournaments from the qualifiers. The Nations League table that they are in, you know, they literally have drawn to Germany, which was a last minute goal, a penalty, which shouldn't have been a penalty first of all. So that was one, and then Italy as well. So again, you know, they're not a great team, so I'm looking forward to them, you know, not doing well in the World Cup, especially as, you know, the team that they have overall, the English team, they've got a very promising individual team, but again, they always go by the big names. You know, I don't understand why Phillips is playing as a defensive midfielder alongside Rice. Rice is great, don't get me wrong, but Hendo should have been on there. He should have been playing. I don't know why he's not there. You know, England do need, let's say, a leader as such. Maguire is not a leader. Same with Harry Kane. Both of these guys can't even talk. They just dribble literally from their mouths whenever they talk. So, you know, they should have got Hendo. They don't have anyone in left back as a position. They're using like Trippier. They even use like other individuals on the left back position, but they're right back players. I don't understand that. Why would they again favour someone that's right footed as their preference to be on a left back position? It's something that's not going to work out for them. They're going to get dealt with. They're going to get cut inside out, and that's something I'm glad that Southgate is being shown to. You know, they've got some excellent managers, England do. You know, they've got Graham Potter, for example, who's done a fantastic job at Brighton. And he done a fantastic job as well at Östersund, which was a Swedish club. And he brought them from, I think it was Division 3 to Division 1. And he also won them the Swedish title, which was an absolute feat on its own. You know, he's a fantastic manager. And again, you know, Southgate is now getting, you know, the telling off that he should be, which he should, because again, he's not a great manager. He wasn't fantastic for Middlesbrough. He had the overhype of very easy, you know, Euros or whatever the hype was around that. You know, it's never going to be coming home with all this media as well as player overhype. You know, you got Kane that's playing as a very deep forward. He shouldn't be like that. They should be pinpointing him with like crosses or passing or whatever the case is in a centre forward position. So yeah, so let's see how it goes with the Nations League when they do reconvene in September. You know, it's going to be very interesting, especially again with the likes of France that's not doing well. They've got a superstar team. You know, they were the likes that were going to be favourites for this tournament, but they've been very low par, even if they've been playing their first team as well. You know, they are in a table where I've always said in my previous videos, the likes of Austria, Denmark, Croatia, Hungary, Switzerland are in that category as well, where they're like underdog teams, but they're not underdogs. They're like very strong teams. I don't know how to describe it, but they are underrated from a lot of these media outlets or wherever the case is, but they always give their heart whenever they play. You know, Hungary played fantastic, even Denmark, even Croatia over their recent games, and you know, I'm glad to see, you know, these, as mentioned, you know, these underrated teams doing well, and I do hope that one of these guys, you know, win the Nations League or even like the Euros. You know, it's time that we have a little switch from like the big international teams. But no, I think it'll be interesting to see once it does reconvene the National League, the Nations League. Bloody hell, I'm still tired. Apologies, guys. But no, let's see how that goes. But yeah, just talking about like the transfer market, which is going to be a busy summer. You know, it's already been a phenomenal summer so far in the transfer market. We've got the likes of Haaland, that's already confirmed his move. We've got Nunes as well coming over to Liverpool. You know, both key, let's say, club teams making, you know, forward acquisitions. Man City, majority of their, you know, the league matches last season were playing with like a false nine, or you know how they used to do at Barca, where they didn't really have like a forward, and even Spain done it as well, where they had just like midfielders in that forward line. So, you know, they did do well, don't get me wrong, City, but now they got Haaland. It's just now going to be a case where if he can stay fit, he will be phenomenal. But again, it's a physical league. He is a big boy, don't get me wrong, he's a massive boy. You know, the way that he plays is a very strong and physical type of player. So I think it'll be really interesting, man, next season. And, you know, generally, again, we've got some fantastic purchases being made, even by Spurs from the likes of it, you know. They're Spurs, as we know. Spurs are always going to be Spurs. But the signings that they're making and the rumoured players that they're looking at is absolutely phenomenal. They already got Perisic. They already got Basuma, who Basuma I thought was going to go to Arsenal. He's been rumoured at Arsenal for a very long time. So with him going to Tottenham, that's a very interesting buy. Even Bastoni's been interested, to come over to Spurs. He's been managed by Conte previously, so that's going to be quite interesting to see if he does make the move. He's still a very young player, 23 or so, first team player for the Italy national team as well. They've always been very good, these Italians, just generally as defensive players. So that'll be a really interesting to move, if he does make it to Spurs. I think Spurs will be a good team to be competing against, let's say the likes of City as well as Liverpool and Chelsea. So that'll be a really interesting one. And then, talking about Chelsea then, you got Sterling that's been rumoured, and it looks likely that he's going to be moving over to Chelsea. He is a London boy. He used to play for QPR in his youth days, moving over to Liverpool and then moving over to City, and now it looks as if for some reason, I don't know why City just don't play him. He's always been fantastic for City. Maybe they're trying to, different ideology or mythology within their team or the strategy, how they're going forward. But no, I think that'll be a loss for them. That'll be a big loss for City. If he does go to Chelsea, Chelsea will be looking at strengthening up. Their idea would be either to go for, I don't know, a free with Dembele from Barca, or to pay, let's say for Sterling. So it's going to be interesting to see who they go for. But I do see Sterling leaving City, and the main option or the only option would be either Chelsea, but I don't see any other team. Madrid was always rumoured previously, but they've got a good team at the moment, so I don't see him going to Madrid. I think he'll stay in London and he'll go to, let's say, Chelsea. And then, of course, talking about Lukaku, our favourite, let's say, Chelsea player. Man has been at Chelsea more times than any other player, and he's done fantastic, of course, for them, hence why he stays for long-term contracts with them instead of being loaned out or sold to another club. He's been rumoured to go back to his favourite club of all time. I've heard that he's got a chest tattoo of the Inter Milan logo embedded on his heart. He's going to be moving over there. But, I was looking at some stats of his game time, last season at Chelsea and the prior season at Inter Milan. So just to share it with you, don't get me wrong, he was phenomenal at Inter. He had 36 games. He scored 24 goals and had 11 assists, okay? So overall, his conversion was around like 62%, his shooting accuracy he had. So he was fantastic in front for Inter Milan. Now, of course, with Chelsea, I don't know what they do with their strikers, man. Werner, liability. He can't even score a goal, even if he's positioned on the line of the goal itself. A liability, but he plays fantastic for Germany national team as well as, Leipzig whenever he played for them. But yeah, then, looking at Lukaku at Chelsea, for example, 26 games he played, okay, last season. He only had 8 goals. And he made no assists. And, his shooting accuracy was 54%. So, again, I think the responsibility falls on him. Plus Chelsea, don't get me wrong, but him as well, with his heart set into Milan. But he's one of those players where he just moves around way too much, man. He should, do what he can to, prove to himself as a player, plus to the club, Chelsea, that he's a good, let's say, striker. Just don't be a liability. I think now it's all about the money and all this malarkey, about contracts and whatnot. So I think money is a massive topic as well. But let's see, he's going to go to Inter for sure. So that'll be an interesting move for him. And let's see what Inter do next season, especially with AC Milan winning the Serie A for, quite a while. It's been many years. So that'll be really interesting on that side. And then again, talking about Arsenal, you got, for some reason, I don't know why, it says Rafinha may go to Arsenal now. So that's going to be a very interesting purchase because he does play on that, let's say, right-sided wing, where he does cut in with his left. That's where Pepe usually is. Of course, Pepe being a fantastic signing for Arsenal. It didn't cost much. And, he's scored so many goals as well as given so many assists. Fantastic player Pepe has been for Arsenal. Banter. But no, I think if they do get Rafinha, he's been proven in the Premier League for a couple of, seasons now in, with Leeds. So I think that'll be a good move for Arsenal, especially, he's done very well for them. But yeah, let's see if Barca do snip, him, away from Arsenal. I think it's just contractual talks or issues that they're having with that. So that'll be quite interesting to see what happens. And then, yeah, you got Jesus that's going to be helping potentially to save Arsenal. They need someone as holy as Jesus, really, to save their, performance, especially as they were so close to get Champions League, but lost that to Champions League to Spursies or Chelsea or whoever the case was. I don't really care about third, fourth, but yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it really. We're coming to the end of the video. I didn't realise I was babbering on as this, this long. I do appreciate you guys as always. We're going to talk more about transfers tomorrow. I did have a longer list, but I didn't realise I was going to talk this much. But yeah, feel free to subscribe and like, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.